And here we are once again, another Thursday, but you kind of caught us in the middle of a good conversation because we're talking about British history. All because of one of the reviews that was happening here. And we was talking about how a certain person lost all rights and titles and everything and just got completely cut off altogether.
I always feel that because I know Andrew kind of got on Charles after Diana died.
Mm-hmm.
And part of what's happened, I think, is kind of revenge. It's not just, oh, you have embarrassed the crown, but let me get back at you for, talking about how I didn't know how to handle my marriage.
Well, he didn't.
He didn't. But that doesn't stop him being, he's still the king now. And
well, he's the king. He's the king now. I believe Camilla was a better fit for him because when you really delve into the history between him and Diana, they were not compatible at all.
My belief is that, had Elizabeth been a little less conservative, let Andrew have the porn star. Charles is the heir to the crown. He's in love with. They all knew he was in love with Camilla. They knew that as much as they knew about Andrew and the porn star all over the news. So they knew about Camilla. All the queen had to do was let her have the divorce, and then make her the queen consort or the princess consort. She didn't. She could have just been the royal consort at the time in which they were married, and then once she died, she would become the queen consort that she is anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it just, if they had just done it. The only thing is though, and I get Elizabeth's ideology. She wanted grandkids, and she knew with Camilla she wasn't going to have that, and she wanted to make sure that the family would continue. And if Charles died, then it was Andrew. And it's like, no, we're not having a porn star birthing babies up in here. But then she cracked down, because she cracked down on Charles and then she cracked down on Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if they had both been, allowed to have the lives that they wanted, I think things right now would be playing out differently. She would be disappointed because she would know that he represented the end of her dynasty. But the thing is he may already be representing the end of her dynasty. There may not be a crown for his son to inherit. His eldest may not have a crown to inherit. There is a lot of anger in Britain right now over all this. And there are several people in Parliament have either gotten up and quit themselves or been removed. There are several there are several men in the House of Lords who have either, the smart ones that got up and said, "Hey, I resign, I'm done," because they're in the files.
Mm-hmm.
And others have had to be forcibly ejected. So this is it's shaking up British government, especially in regards to the House of Lords. And I just have a feeling by the time Prince William is ready to inherit, there may not be a throne to inherit. They may just, the Houses of Parliament may just decide that a royal family is no longer worth the price. They may say, "Hey, those homes that you own privately, you can have those. We're not going to bug you. You can go live there." But Buckingham Palace, Sandringham, all those places, that belongs to the people.
To the Commonwealth. Yeah.
That belongs to the Commonwealth. You can't have it. Go off, live lives. I just kind of have this feeling by the time William by the time Charles is ready to step down, and that may be soon. I just don't know if they'll be.
See that I see the whole thing as this is going to be deja vu all over again because of William and Harry. Again, the same dynamic happened again with William and Harry.
Well, here's the thing. Harry married the woman he wanted and then got chased out. And I saw on YouTube about a week ago someone who knew her, who knew Meghan before she married Harry.
Mm-hmm.
And that she used to do charity work. She was yeah, she did the show, but she was a relatively quiet person. She wasn't Miss Party Girl and whatnot. Um, and it's being suggested now in certain circles who knew her and know him and how things are done at Buckingham Palace. It's now being suggested that they needed to manufacture some outrage because they knew Epstein was coming. And they needed to do, it was by creating this thing of, Pierce Morgan being outraged and all these people, oh my God, look who he's married. It's like, it was supposed to be the distraction in the hopes that when this stuff came, the attitude that the average Brit would go, well, at least they weren't black.
And that reared its ugly head because a lot of people did not know her heritage. And when that came out, that was the distraction that they really needed.
Yeah. It gave them the distraction. Only thing is it only worked for a little while. And it's one of those things, it's like over here. You can only they still don't know who released that last batch. There is still screaming who let the dogs out about that last batch of files. Some people think it was the Israelis. Some people think that Ukraine. Hey, Alice. I don't know how to pronounce the last M9Q1F. So I'm just going to say Alice, if that's okay.
Yep. We getting people from all over watching us. So that's the good thing here.
But it's just, some people are saying it came from Israel.
Somebody from Iran.
Oh, greetings. Lovely to meet you. I don't speak, I don't speak any of that. So I can't greet you properly. I had a neighbor, though, I was friends with when I lived in LA. Lovely family from Iran. I developed a love for Gouda thanks to them. And unfortunately, I can't find Gouda here. So I'm very sad. It's a type of flatbread, but it's got this sort of sweet paste in the middle of it. No, I don't speak any Persian. I'm sorry. I don't have that skill.
But I just find all of it kind of interesting because I really don't think the whole thing about Epstein and all of the, if I could say, major players in the world would ever be truly talked about in its proper context.
I think our generation will not get the fullness of the story. I think the next generation will get it.
I don't think the next generation would care.
But they'll get it. They will. They may not care, but they will get it. They will see it. There will be parts of that they'll get that we won't. But we're getting enough now that it's just like, I was never a fan of Bush to begin with. So, I was never a fan of Daddy Bush to begin with. And it's just,
for those who don't know, we talked about Herbert Walker, not W.
Yeah, not W.
Herbert Walker. Herbert Walker. I will still argue to this day that pound for pound, he was the worst American president that we had since the 1980s. All this stuff.
He definitely outshined both Nixon and Reagan in regards to, oh, you just every time you hear his name you get uncomfortable. But
it wasn't that, it was the policies that he left behind after he got out, because
that's
he
what
was
I'm
a
saying.
one-term president.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It just, some people, just to hear their name makes you uncomfortable. Um, but this is not what we should be doing tonight, because
No,
we have.
I'm not going to get into the overall politics of it, but it's just the
Okay.
two things that always stick out every time I think about HW. Is
Well, I think.
what he did to the banking industry with savings and loans, and the policy that he left behind, and what he left behind as far as real estate. Those were the two things that blew up everything in the 90s and the early 2000s. Those were the policies that was left behind that caused the problems that we're having most likely today. And they're slowly trying to fix this type of stuff. Because why?
Actually,
Too many people made too much money off of it.
yeah, they deregulated a lot of stuff, and a lot of people who maybe shouldn't have gotten rich. I won't say that, but to get to the level that they are, he made it way too easy for people to do what they do unbalanced. There's the balance that there are no. He took off the guardrails. He cut back on the regulations. The whole corporations are people too. Crap. Yeah, it'll take another 10 years to fix, what was began then. But then that was their plan. It was.
As many people complain about Sally Mae and Freddie Mac and all the savings and loans crashes and everything, people keep forgetting it was his policy that led up to that,
That
the
led up to it.
deregulation that led up to that. But yet they wanted to blame all these other presidents for it. And I always try to tell people, if you want to know about a president and who was good and who was bad, wait until they leave and see what policies remain after they leave and still remain. I hate to say it for all those that say it was like Obama was the worst president. Nope. Most of his policies have already been wiped out. Trump is going to be the worst. Nope. By the time we get to our next president, most of his policies are going to get wiped out.
But at the same,
you probably have to go back to, like, a lot of people say Reagan. I don't think Reagan is. A lot of people say Nixon. Even though what he did with HMO was very, very bad, a lot of his policies were gone. Some people might even say Carter. But I still feel HW did the worst thing when he deregulated so much stuff.
yeah,
And left it a wild, wild west out here. He left a wild, wild west.
And the thing is it's so funny, because when we were kids, or when I was a kid, Ralph Nader and the Nader Raiders were watchdogs. Nader built his brand on being a watchdog for meat, for the meat industry, agriculture, building, financials. If you were doing something shady, Nader would find out, and he would put it out there. And he built a network called, and this is before the internet, y'all. He built a network called the Nader's Raiders. The ultra conservative Ralph Nader back in the day was known as a firebrand. He was the Consumer Protection Act. Why do you think that came about? Because Nader and his Nader's Raiders, they uncovered so much crap that was going on, and all these industries that they were getting away with because they had found this loophole, that loophole, and stuff. He is the reason that we had stuff like, the FDA and stuff, making sure that that our food was safe. All the regulations in the auto industry was because Ralph Nader and his followers went on the warpath to make sure, because the air in Chicago, it used to be, the joke was, well, you can cut your little slice of it and take it home and clean it up. Same as Detroit. Chicago's air may not be perfect, but it's clean. LA, Chicago, those places, it's clean. The air is cleaner now because of what Ralph Nader did in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see him today, it's like there's got to be there. I don't, did they take his brain out and replace it with something? Because this was a man who the auto industry, the agricultural industries, they feared him. Just to have someone say, "Oh, Ralph Nader may be coming by," people just went bananas and ballistic. They would freak because you knew if Nader got wind of something, you know, I don't know. I don't know at what point he sold his soul, but
Well,
I
that's
just
the thing.
remember
I
as a
know he started
child,
making a whole bunch of money towards
and
the
then he
towards the 90s. Towards the 90s, he made a whole bunch of money and he just kind of
and he flipped.
dissipated away.
But before he was making, and because at the time when he was doing his thing, he was being interviewed. There wasn't a news agency, whether ABC, CBS, or NBC, that didn't have him on board in some way or another. They were always trying to find out what's Nader doing, what's Nader, when he said, "Oh, I got no," everybody would show up. You'd have thought it was the head of state.
Mm-hmm.
When Nader had something to announce, folks would show up. And but it's the same thing. What is it? Jose Rivera was Rivera. What's his first name?
What?
Um, when
What?
he started at ABC,
Oh, you
he
talking about
Geraldo Rivera.
Geraldo
Sorry, Geraldo
Rivera. Yeah,
Rivera.
Geraldo,
When he's
aka Capone's vaults, which I don't think it was a hoax. I just think he just
it,
didn't have all the information. Because that was
there was
embarrassing.
nothing in it,
Right.
and he became a laughing stock. But before that, it was like the only person who could eclipse Nader was Rivera. That man, he started out as an investigative reporter. It got to the point, in fact, a lot of the information that Nader got, he was getting from Rivera back in the early days when they were starting out. Rivera and ABC, he was getting specials on ABC covering this injustice, that over here, this over there. You did not want to hear these men's names if
And
you were, depending on what industry you were in and how up the ladder you were, because you knew if one of these two men needed to talk to you, you were screwed. And
and that was before he got his own talk show and he became commercial.
somewhere along the line, Rivera, I think the money got too good. you and he just sort of went, it's interesting. The men who were firebrands in my youth are now the stodgy conservatives, you know and they're now on the far right. When it because they're not because I remember when I was a girl, they say, "Oh, by the time you're an adult, this guy will be more middle of the road." It's like, I don't think my grandfathers thought he would be either those men who go that far to the right. They thought they would mellow and become more middle of the
Mm-mm.
road. And it's like, nope, they went the total other direction. They went from leftist leaning firebrands to rabid conservatives.
See, I hate to say it this way. I honestly believe this more so than anything. I think the left that we have today went further left compared to where things were at back when we was growing up here.
No, I
And by the
disagree with
time they
that.
got old, they might have been middle of the road based upon the time frame that we grew up in. But by today's terms, no, they going to be considered hardcore, die hard right.
Nope. I totally disagree with that. Having come up under hippies and whatnot, and um, uh, I know a lot of people in that movement who did not become conservatives. You know, A lot of them they went to Sedona and started the Earthship cities out there. And in fact, now they're kind of having a bit of a row because they went and built those Earthships and set up their little communities over there, and now ultra rich people are buying into their communities, and they're trying to figure out ways that they can block them. But unfortunately, excuse me, when they were setting up the rules about how these places could be built, how the community was set up and stuff, they realized, oh, we can't
Hey,
say
Tat.
no because, hey, Tat, we can't say they can't come because it is, what is it? We can't say they can't come because that becomes discrimination. And the whole point was to set up these communities to be more inclusive, even though in a way, not totally, because they were setting up these communities in a way where very few people knew about them. And, or actually had the money
I kind of shaking my head here because like, oh, so they don't want to admit something that was always a part of them in the very beginning.
It's,
And that was kind of like the hypocrisy.
And it leads me to Bridgerton, which is how this conversation got started behind camera. We were talking about, I'm going to be reviewing Bridgerton. Before I get to the good stuff about the last 4 episodes of Bridgerton that they just dropped, for those who are not aware, this is happening through what is considered the Regency period. Napoleon has not met his Waterloo yet. In fact, I think the king is still there. The Americans have not rebelled. The British have just started getting intense influence in China and India. So those wars have not yet started. And every rich person you see, every middle class, every member of the Tan, black or white, that you see in that show, they have their money because of slavery. They are that is the ugly, dark little secret that is not discussed on this show. These people get their money via the enslavement or the stealing of a country's resources. Sugar cane. Where do you think that sugar cane's coming from?
It can't be grown there because
rice. They don't grow rice. They don't grow.
It can't be growing. It can't be growing in the Isles of British.
The Muslims. This is as they're beginning to take the Muslim trade from India, taking it from the people of India, and bringing it to Britain, and taking that trade from them. The Indians were the ones who created the muslin fabric. And then the British looked at it and said, "Ooh, we can make money with this. This is good." And said, "You know what? Toddler rules of acquisition. I see it. I want it. I'm going to take it. It's mine." And they pretty much did that with everywhere they went. Bridgerton, as we know it, is happening before those revolutions start, wherein people start fighting to get their countries back as much as they can. So there, yes, that is the dark underside of Bridgerton. Despite all that, I have to admit, I enjoy the hell out of this show. I'm an evil woman. I can't help it. These last 4 episodes that dropped left me hungering for the next 4 because of nothing else. Shonda Rhimes understands storytelling. That woman must have grown up with mamas, grandmamas, aunties, uncles, told her stories. And she read stories and she took all that stuff in, because without giving too much spoilers, the story that she is crafting for this season is she takes an interesting spin on Cinderella. And at one point, just to flip the script, she throws in a little mermaid action just to go, hey, just so you know, I know how to tell a story and make things work. She tosses us a little mermaid action up in there, you know, and it worked. I was like watching these episodes and just flabbergasted and delighted, and I just part of me just wants to strangle the life out of her because I want that career. Despite all that, I would say give it a watch. We loved it, didn't we, Courtney?
Yes.
Courtney loved it too. See, it ain't just me. So, and poor Courtney had to sit there and chop down. You know they making money off slavery, right? You know them Africans that are up there and they've been British educated. They're making money. Yeah, they got titles and stuff because they were African royalty because their tribes were selling other tribes to get money. And they had to send their kids there as they're basically just hostages. And the whole point of the ton is to keep Charlotte occupied so she doesn't start asking the wrong questions of Parliament. While Parliament is in session, that's when all the social stuff happens. The social season in London is because Parliament is in session. And they needed something for to keep their wives and daughters and sons and stuff occupied while they were deciding what the country was going to do. Having the ton and all of these people there that Charlotte could drive crazy kept her occupied. That's why they all got a little bit of money that improves their situation, because giving her these people that she can run ragged with their families during the season keeps her occupied. She's not asking any of the questions that would make them unhappy to have to answer. And life goes on, you know. But like I said, other than that, this is exceptionally good storytelling. And I will say this, hands down, Mama Bridgerton. Baby gave my heart a pinnacle. And if you're the only one, poor Courtney, she's about to scream. The only way you gonna know what my use of that word, you gotta watch the episodes. And I'm not going to tell you which one because I ain't spoiling it that much, but you will, believe me, you will enjoy this. This is real. In fact, this season they introduced Asian characters, Chinese characters into the time. A Lady Pendleton and her daughters. And I can't say more than that because that's spoiling. But that's okay because I also watch the Muppet Show.
No, you have to do it correctly. You got to be like,
is that better? You feel better? You feel better now? Yes. Is that better? Got all my arm flapping and stuff. You happy? You happy now? You know I'm gonna get you at C2E2. That's okay.
No, because you're gonna have me up here trying to do it on camera.
Anyway, if you haven't seen it yet, I know they dropped it on Disney Hulu Plus got it last night. I don't know if it made it to ABC or it's coming to ABC.
No, it's just only Disney Plus. This is
no, they listed ABC as well. The last time I saw a commercial for it, it actually listed ABC.
Maybe it's coming sometime soon, but I know that this after the special, that Muppet Show is being launched as a Disney Plus series.
Yeah, but I think ABC might probably in the summer get it. I will say this to Seth Rogen. He went back to the Muppet Show of his childhood. So they recreated the theater, including not just backstage, but the stage and the audience. Now, there are some differences. The audience not only has Muppets, but it also has humans in the audience. So that's a change. But you still have Statler and this boy, ragging on folks from the balcony. That will not change.
Again, we have to have Statler and I forgot his other name and Fozzie Bear. They have to go at it. They have to bring that back. They have to bring that classic, heckling of Fozzie Bear.
Yeah. Seth
back.
Rogen did make a cameo yesterday, which I didn't really feel was
I
necessary.
I do
Everybody and
too,
his
Tab.
mama by this
We
time knows that he was executive producing it. Um, and he's trying to bring it back as a series. They listed it as a special, and Kermit actually, there's a conversation between Fozzie and Kermit, and Foz is like, "Yeah, I'm great. I'm glad we're having a whole show going." Kermit's like, "Well, that depends on how well whether or not we get to do another show will depend on how well tonight's show goes." Um, so, he's making it sound like they don't know if they're going to have a season or not. And they listed it as a special.
mm-hmm.
When I went to look it up, they listed it as a special, but I did watch it. I did enjoy it. Sabrina Carpenter was the human guest. And my feelings about her were lukewarm because I don't know if they knew quite how to put her in there. In the days of some of the insanity of the old Muppet Show, as I told Courtney, I missed the day when Mark Hamill shows up and he's gargling Gershwin with gargoyles.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that in the Scottish gargoyles who gargled Gershwin, and Mark Hamill joined in. There is a level of insanity to some of the guests that they had, and understand and Sabrina Carpenter's. I think part is she was a kid who grew up with the Muppet Show, and having her as a foil for Miss Piggy was kind of cute. And I don't want to go too into it, but copyright infringement, darling.
Well,
Quote
I don't
Miss
know.
Piggy.
It's just certain things that I really, if they're going to go back to old Muppet Show, there's certain things that I would want. But I must say this. I must say this here. Muppets Tonight actually did, to me, the best modern day Muppet Show could have been.
I enjoyed Muppet Tonight. I was really disappointed when Disney. It was bad enough when ABC pulled the Muppet Show off their network.
Muppets Tonight.
Muppet Tonight off the network because a million moms who weren't a million. There were maybe 100,000 of that, and there were millions of people tuning into this show every week, and yet 10,000 women
for a Sunday night show that was very popular.
Threw a hissy fit, and ABC went, okay, and shut it down. They then went to Disney because by that time, Disney now, had absorbed the Henson Company, and they had the rights to the Muppet Show. So they then did the Muppets Tonight more as with more of an internet spin on it. In other words, they were still they were still doing the segments, but it was more as if they were doing it for the internet.
Well, it was more as if it was late night TV.
But
it was more adult. It was really more adult.
And it was more of an the setting was not the original Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
I applaud Seth Rogen because he brought back the stuff that those of us who remember it when they could barely find a station they could be carried on locally sometimes
after CBS dropped them.
Yeah. He brought back the old Muppet theater. So you have that. They rebuilt that backstage set. They rebuilt the stage. They rebuilt the audience area. So it feels like the old Muppet Show. And while there were a couple of things I thought, well, maybe they could have done that a little better, I would be happy to watch another 2 to 3 episodes before I make a final decision on it. I enjoyed it enough to say, you know what, I would like to see what they, at least 2 or 3 more times to see where they're going, because it's just that one episode. And it takes a few episodes for any type of show, especially a show like this that is based on, and in many ways, it's kind of the Muppets version of the old Ed Sullivan Show.
Mm-hmm. It's a Muppet Variety Show. Muppets Variety Hour, it should be really called. called.
Yeah, and but it had more of a Ed Sullivan, almost three-ring circus
Well, I
feel
wouldn't
to
say
it.
Ed Sullivan, but more like what's his name? Milton Berle, Texaco Television Hour or something like that.
The old Texaco Theater,
Yeah.
as they called it. But my active memory is more Ed Sullivan,
Mhm.
because they used to they did not do Pigs in Space this time. They only had, it wasn't the full on hour. They only had so much time. But I did enjoy the fact that they actually had a human Muppet audience, and they made them towards the end sort of part of the show, if you will say. There was, the interaction with the audience was actually fun. So it wasn't like you were in the audience watching it from the stage. They actually turned the cameras around so you could see the audience as well as what was happening backstage. Piggy's gonna be Piggy. My only sadness is because they sound like them, but there are little differences, and that's because we don't have Jim Henson anymore. We
You don't
don't
have
have Frank
Frank Oz.
Oz. The guys who are doing Piggy and Fozzie and Kermit are doing a really good job. And Scooter's there too. I almost
Scooter
forgot.
came back. Okay, Scooter's back. I know
Scooter.
Gonzo's still there.
Oh, you can't get rid of Gonzo. You can, and I won't tell you when Gonzo's getting
Doctor Teeth and the
Dr.
electric
Teeth and the electric.
color green have to
They're
be back.
there. They're all
Ralph the
there.
dog. Ralph the dog has to be
Ralph is playing
there. Animal.
piano.
Ralph and Animal has to be there.
Of course, you can't have them but show unless animals on the drum. Let's be serious, But
And then you have to have what is his name? Snookums. The
yes,
very
and
big guy that was always scary, but yet he was the nicest guy ever.
he was there. They even brought the chickens.
Oh, Camilla and the chickens.
Camilla and the chickens were there. Um, and I guess and I get it. There's a lot riding on this episode, and I think unfortunately they kind of threw that on the shoulders of Miss Carpenter. And there have been Loretta Lynn did a Muppet show.
Mm-hmm.
And the song she sang was One's on the Way, and they surrounded her with all these Muppet babies. And you can tell when she started, it was kind of like I had stepped into one of the circles of hell and I am not getting out because they'd have paid me. But as she gets through the song, you see she's getting into it. She's enjoying it. She's accepting the gift.
She got the joke. She got the
She
joke
got
that what they were
and
playing.
she realized that she was not the butt of it.
Right.
Carpenter did her best. I could tell she did her best, but I think it's one thing. And she talked about, she had seen the Muppet Show as a kid. She really loved Piggy and everything. And I think there was some truth to that, because I think it was a lot of the older stars that I saw were people, some of them were quite jaded. And the attitudes, it was sort of like, yeah, it kind there. Some had that attitude of from the old Flintstone shows when they would have an animal that did a job and did close up. It's a living.
Right.
It kind of had that feel to it. Though most of their guests were really into things and really loved it. But I think there were a couple of parts at which she was a little lost. And I didn't know whether to be disappointed or kind of broke a little, sort of like, oh, you poor dear, did they just drop you in this with no explanation and you're just trying to figure out how not to die?
Well, you have to look at it as like maybe it's just a bad skit that they wrote for them, because like again, Muppet Show, you look at it, you can see parts of Saturday Night Live up in it, parts of Milton Berle, parts of Ed Sullivan. It really is a crapshoot as far as what type of if I could say serial that they do for that particular skit that they do for that show.
And this, and I think, and I can, and I know Rogan is going from nostalgia. He has probably watched every episode of
Yep.
the Muppet Show he could get his hands on. and that was clear. But I think some of these younger writers that they had, excuse me, writing for the show, you kind of just got feelings of, okay, this person, whoever wrote this scene should have probably studied the show more. This person should have, whoever was handling this scene should have maybe paid more attention to how they have done that character. Though, like I said, watching Piggy and Fozzie, I almost burst into tears because it's suddenly, you know, I grew up
Old school. It's
watching
that
this
old
stuff.
school right there.
Oh, my heart just started cracking because it's like, that's not Henson. He's gone. That's not Oz. He's gone. And and I will say a part of my experience of this episode is a little clouded because I was also kind of grieving the fact that the men and women who performed on that show, who brought me so much joy as a child, they're gone. So many of the guest stars who were on that show are gone. you know, so and I still remember the pigs in space, Mark Hamill, and Miss
I,
Piggy, and them dinner buns on her head.
mm-hmm.
It's me, the princess, and he's like oh yes, the princess.
Yeah.
I just and like I said, there was it was like there were two me's sort of sitting there because the child that and all the reasons I love that show, and then the adult going,
It's
those
on
guys are
Disney
gone.
Plus right now.
Yeah,
The
you can
special
catch
is on
it.
Disney Plus.
It's also on Hulu. It should be on either Hulu or Disney. Hulu won't let me sign in to them directly anymore. So
Mhm.
Disney, I can just click in and I'm at Disney and I can pull up Hulu, but all of the my entire Hulu watch list is gone because I can't get into Hulu anymore directly. I can only get them indirectly. So I'm recreating my watch list via
See,
Disney.
you're making me think about all the older guests from the original Muppet Show and Muppets Tonight because I think my biggest highlight of watching the Muppets as a whole here is to see one of my favorite artists of all time, Prince, doing Muppets Tonight. And he loved every minute of it. You could tell that he loved every minute.
Like I said,
He was in every skit. Like it was just like it's no thing but a chicken wing.
and that was one of there was something about
Oh
the Muppet
yeah,
Show.
Steve Martin was funny too.
Yes. Oh my goodness. He had so much. I used to wonder as a kid if some of those guys were a little because there was some Martin, Steve Martin when he was on it, they were a little more reserved for Loretta Lynn out
Mhm.
of respect for who she was. And that's what got me about the costume they set up for Sabrina Carpenter. They dressed her like she was some 60s, 70s country western singer. Frills, the little white lace, and the long
Oh,
dress
so
and
they tried to
everything.
make her the Dolly Parton because remember Dolly was on the Muppet Show.
Yes, but so was Loretta. Dolly was on it. Loretta Lynn.
Hmm.
There are at least 5 or 6 different country western singers who had did the original Muppet Show.
I don't think
I
Robin
don't
Williams
think
was.
Robin Williams was on the original show. I don't think he was.
I don't think he was on the original. I know he made a couple appearances on Sesame Street, but
Hmm.
not the actual Muppet Show. Muppet Show. I could be
One,
wrong on that. I could be wrong on that because one of the things that I remember very clearly was Richard Mullins,
yes.
and I can't think of the bird like character that looks exactly like him being on the actual Muppet Show, and they actually met each other for the first time, and it
The
was just like,
eagle. That
yeah.
that yeah, he was there. He was there. The eagle was there. Um, but yeah. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Parents, if you have kids and they need to learn their ABCs, see if you can find it. They're Kermit the Frog and Lady Smith Black Mombasa doing the ABCs. Best
Mhm.
version of the ABCs I ever saw. It's not your typical ABCD. No, it is wonderful. And I ain't telling you because then I'll spoil it and you won't have anything to see. So go watch it with your toddlers or just watch it. And there are two different versions of it. One
Oh
is
my
them
goodness,
is
David Chappelle on the Muppet Show. That
oh no, 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 no,
that would be insanity. It would
no,
be so insanity, so much insanity.
no, 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 no,
I would be
no,
laughing my rear off
no, no.
because it was not going to make any sense. That show would not make any sense whatsoever, but it would be funny as heck.
Yeah, but it'd be as if everybody on the Muppet Show had to do like how many hits of something that starts with a C.
No, 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 no. I don't think that would happen here. Especially if you've seen his more recent comedy specials.
I haven't. I don't watch a lot
It's,
of
I,
Chappelle.
what he did with Chappelle's show, I believe Comedy Central messed that up,
Okay,
made that so uncomfortable. But what he does for Netflix, I mean, my goodness, this dude is hilarious.
I haven't watched him. I'm these days though. I'm watching. Who am I watching? Finster, the Australian chick Finster. Um, Madigan. I love me some Rachel Madigan. Girl makes me crack up like nothing else. You don't know who she is.
No,
We'll
I
have to.
know, I heard of the name. I just like I'm
She's
going like, she's all right.
she's it's interesting. Her comedy has changed since she sobered up. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have as much of that sort of. It's something. It doesn't have as much of the inbred chaos. Of like call me tater salad.
Yep.
And I love him. I love him.
Will Ferrell matches the humor. He already matches that humor.
Will Ferrell on the Muppet Show would be a good match. I wish Seth Rogen. Anybody out there know Seth Rogen? Have him call me. I think I could give him. Bring Mark Hamill back. I bet you put Mark Hamill on that show. You set for the year. You set for the. I know fanboys
Okay.
who do reaction videos who would die if they knew Mark Hamill was on a modern version of the Muppet Show. They would
Mark
just lose it. I'm
Mark
talking black guys.
Mark Hamill on the Muppet Show today, it would be like, okay, tonight's episode, the multiple faces of Mark Hamill. That man has played so many different characters that they could lean into for a Muppet Show.
I think he would be good. I think Pedro Pascal would be good. Um, I think if they could do it, but I don't know if they could. Del Toro on the
Benicio
Muppet.
del Toro,
I think that would be an
I would bring
amazing.
him in for like a Halloween special.
Yes, but that would be the most mind-blowing Muppet show ever created. No matter what happened after it, they would be talking about that show for at least a decade.
Mhm.
That episode, they would talk about it for a decade. Are you listening, Seth Rogen? Where are you? Call me,
Oh,
dude.
Chris
Answer your
Hemsworth
phone.
would be another interesting one.
Oh, no, 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 not Hemsworth, because he's very cut and dry. But you know who I want? Hiddleston. Get me Loki on the Muppet Show.
He's just
Loki
like, give me my.
on them.
It's like she's like F Thor. It's like fuck Thor. Give me Loki.
Loki, baby. Courtney, Chris Hiddleston on the Muppet Show. Okay, she ain't talking to me anymore. She's like, I am going to
It'll be
sit back.
hilarious.
It's just sitting
I
here
know
like
I
I
know.
ignore your existence.
Hemsworth would be hilarious. What's his name? Aquaman would also be hilarious.
Oh, Jason Momoa.
Momoa would be
Yes.
hilarious.
Holy crap. Jason Momoa. If you got
Yes, Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, my only concern about what would happen? You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna dress up Piggy as Black Widow. They gonna dress
No,
up Peggy as Black Widow, and you know she gonna drop on his lap. I'm not sure how Mrs. Jackson's gonna take Miss Piggy.
that would be interesting. That would be
Oh,
so interesting if they got him. I mean, I just think I just it's so many newer people that could probably fit into the motif of
oh, you
a
know who?
newer Muppet show a lot better.
Um, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds on the Muppet Show. That would be insane. He would be insane.
all the Deadpool jokes.
Oh, great. And then you know Ryan Reynolds is probably the only person
Hugh Jackman
he
and
would
Ryan
bring.
Reynolds
Oh
together
my,
for the Muppet Show. Muppets Go Marvel. Writes itself. That Muppet Show will writes itself. Muppets Go Marvel because you
Marvel.
have Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together.
Oh, that reminds me. Elizabeth O.
Jim Carrey could work too.
Elizabeth Olsen is coming to C2E2. Scarlet Witch.
I know who it is. I'm just up here. It's like we just got through dealing with you and Ming Na Wa. You know, me
Ming Na Wen.
people. You don't understand. When she found out that Ming was there, I had to literally keep her from putting Ming up under her shoulder and walking off with her.
It wasn't that bad. She's
She
so cool.
yeah,
She's so
that's all she
sweet.
that's all she says. Like she's so pretty, she's so cute, she's so sweet. Don't
Yeah,
put her
she's
back down.
oh, I just won't keep her. Jeez, I'd give her back eventually.
He said he's gonna flirt with her. He's gonna flirt with her.
Are you coming to C2E2 Green Lantern?
Yes, you know
Ooh.
who that is, right?
Mm-mm.
That is Corey Green, one of the colorists for
Oh,
Amazonia.
hey, Courtney. How you doing? I'm talking to Courtney Green, Courtney.
Corey Green Courtney. She heard core and she's like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Corey Green.
I'm making peach cobbler. I'm making peach cobbler in honor of me getting old. I turned 65 this year. I'm gonna bake peach cobbler.
No Medicare jokes, please.
Oh,
No,
you
no.
go. You start making Medicare jokes, baby. They're gonna have to send you to the emergency room. Okay?
That's what I said. It's
Don't
like
make me go
no,
evil on you.
up there. It's like they don't understand. They don't understand that the movie Red was actually about real people. Retired and extremely dangerous.
I love that. I still love it. Ooh, that's what I should watch this weekend. I was trying to think of what old fart movie I could watch this weekend.
Yeah, watch the two Red movies.
Especially Dame Helen Mirren and the Korean guy in the car.
What's the face for?
I would pay. Go sit in the theater. I don't care if it's $100. I would pay just to see a movie of them going between smooching 1 minute and then him driving and her just shooting shit out of people. That would be worth it. That would be worth it. Especially if I get to go to the movie theater that had them potatoes. Them potatoes was good, Courtney.
She's thinking about the potatoes again. Well, why Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Why? Because it's like, to me, it would have been a better premise if their whole relationship was built upon keeping their own cover secret.
I'm not thinking Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I want to see her shooting folks and him driving. I love it when she turns to him and says, "Impress me." I'm like, oh, it's gonna be good. I mean, that's the best. That was the most fun you could have with two grown people, and they keep their clothes on and don't touch each other.
I still felt that she played a better role as Fox in Wanted, I believe that's the name of the movie.
Dame Helen Mirren?
No, you're talking about Red.
Yes. We're in two different conversations here.
You're up here. I'm up here. We went from Mrs. and Mrs. Smith. So I was thinking Angelina Jolie. So I was like, that's the reason why I brought up Fox and Wanted.
That's where I got lost because it's like, no,
You went right back to Red. I was like, how do you get right back to Red?
because Dave Helen Mirren and that cute Korean guy. It's like,
Oh,
ooh, that's energy. And when she told him, impress me, and she like, oh, and him just, oh yeah, that was just, ooh, that's the most
yeah,
sexy.
cougar
That
moment.
closing.
Cougar moment.
Well, I'm an old chick. What do you expect?
It's like Jack Black. That's another way.
Oh yeah, I could
But
see.
that would be more of a musical type
I could see.
episode.
I could see Jack Black and Fozzie going off on each other, trying to out funny. I think Jack Black and Fozzie would be great as competing comics. I think that
Jack
would be
Black,
hilarious.
no, Jack Black and Fozzie Bear in a dad joke off.
Or
that
pulling
would be so freaking hilarious.
about halfway through, they stop going off on each other and start pulling pranks on everybody else. And the insanity would just, I mean, it would write itself. Are you
Actually, that would
listening to
work
me,
better
Seth
with
Rogen?
Gonzo. That would work better with Gonzo. Jack Black
Ooh,
and Gonzo doing
Gonzo,
that.
yes. Are you listening, Seth Rogen? Call me, dude. Call me. The AFI has
Not even call me. Not even call me. I'll be like, look, if you don't do it, I'm going to copyright it. You got to pay me. You got to
no,
pay me.
because I can't copyright it because I don't own the copyright for the Muppet Show.
No, you could copyright whatever script you want because it's
Oh,
based upon you can't produce it, but you can copyright that script. They cannot use the concepts per se without consulting you.
oh, speaking of script work, I've got the first 18 pages blocked out, and the Bristol boards have been scanned in and are put up in the book. I
Okay.
just got to start coloring.
You
I want
you
to get
want
in
you want one or two issues.
of my comic.
No, of what we talked about. Since you mentioning scripts and everything, I was like, oh yeah, I still got two, actually technically it's three, but one issue one has to be done soon because I have to send it to Prince
That's what I'm
very,
telling you.
very soon because we have to get it for C2E2.
I've since I got 18 pages done for book 2.
Mm-hmm.
They're not done, but at least they're on. I got them done on Bristol board,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the roughs from the Bristol board have been scanned in. Actually, I'm laying them out
Mm-hmm.
in the book because I created a file for the books, so I've actually put those in, which means I now have time because I've got scene 1 laid out. So when you need me to have time, I can do it
I'm
because
just asking you because it's like they're ready to go. I just need to know when do I hit the magic shiny button to email
um
these issues to you.
I was tomorrow I have to go do laundry. Saturday I got to go get water because they're doing that lead pipe replacement stuff for our building on Monday. So I got to go get water Saturday because they're going to shut our water off for about 8 hours.
Okay.
So, we will not have any water. So I need to go get water. I have a Brita filter tank
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to fill that. But I also want to get some water because since there's no water coming in, we can't flush the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get a few gallons of water. But luckily, the library is just down the block. So it's
So that means you have to keep your keys handy because it's like, okay, I'll be back. What are you
I
about to
got
do?
it.
I'm about to go to the restroom.
I got to do that anyway because the landlords have decided since I work so well with these people, I'm now going to be the point man. So I've already talked to the city engineer. They're coming. I've got to be up before 7 because they start at 7. They're going to be digging outside. Plus, they're rerouting some pipe work and digging up in our basement. And it's my job to deal with them all day.
Like I said, as long as you're getting paid for it, you're okay.
They've been nice. They have paid me.
And he's talking about Zach Galifianakis.
Oh my goodness, that's a name I haven't heard in a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd be good. Zach G would be good. Yeah.
Well, Elaine, are you ready to go back into the Wayback Machine?
Let me, Mr. Peabody. Yeah. Ooh, Sherman, you need to clean that up, baby. Don't do that no more. Yeah. He's warming it up.
Okay, because the thing is, we still got
Yes,
tonight's
we.
feature presentation as far as cartoons here is concerned, because you know how we are in our specialized chat for this show and everything here. We get to the point where we start talking about certain things, and I would come across like certain things, as far as like animated stuff late nights, and I was like, I'm watching this show. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this show from back in the day. And then I thought about it, and then I saw one character up there. Like, wait a second, he was a part of this show. I could have sworn that a certain cereal company created him from the ether, and it turns out no, he was actually a character from a little known show, and the cereal company pretty much kind of took characters from all parts of this show and had different cereals that they used to hype up here.
And
That
they used
cereal
to do the
company was named Post. So that
and
gives you an idea of which character that caught my attention. And as I was doing my research, figured out all. So the whole TV show was nothing more than a cereal commercial.
because the commercials themselves were mini episodes.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever watch, once you see this, you'll get it. But back in the day when they were first shooting these commercials, they were like mini cartoon episodes, 30-second episodes for these commercials. And they would play them in between other cartoons. But because Saturday morning was when these commercials lived, and they were, like I said, they were like cartoons in their own right.
So just like how late night I came across here's the Huddles, and I was like, I never heard of that, and I watched it. I was like, oh, there was a Flintstones ripoff. Again, late night, I was like, oh, I barely remember this, and then I saw one character, and I was like, no, that can't be him. It's like he was created for selling cereal, and lo and behold, it was him. So without further ado, we are about to watch an episode of Linus the Lionhearted. And for those who don't know who Linus the Lionhearted is, it was a cartoon that had many different characters. Some maybe for the very, very sensitive because of the simple fact of how they used to play up stereotypes back in like
Yeah.
50s and 60s. It would be kind of harsh to see, but this was the first cartoon series that a character that we know and love from the cereal commercials from like the 70s and 80s. If you ever had what was it called? Super Sugar Crisp or Super Golden Crisp.
Yes, because
You
they
can
used to
know
have them both.
Sugar Bear. And this is the TV series that Sugar Bear came from.
Can't get enough of Super Sugar Crisp.
Chris, it got the Crunchwood Punch. Yeah.
Well, I can see harm in it. All those crocodile tears are making the water level in the river rise. Well, we could have a flood. Then I suggest that you fly up and take a look at how the dam is holding up. Too much water could burst it. Holy smokes! I better warn everybody. Hey, everybody! The dam just broke. Hey, there's a flood coming. The dam just burst. Hey, you guys, quick! If you can't fly like me, climb a tree or run up to somewhere high. Do we sink or swim? Stay tuned. It's the only way you're going to find out. Roar, 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 Linus the Lionhearted. Linus is the one who lights up the fun. He's the host of which we both know. Roar, 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 Linus the king, Linus the star, Linus the Lionhearted. Greetings and Salutations. I am the master of ceremonies on this cartoon extravaganza. Salutations. I am the master of ceremonies on this cartoon
Really?
extravaganza.
Well, let me introduce you to something new then.
And who, pray to hell, is the hat? Are you Mahakam, the king of the beasts? Are you Mahakam, the king of the beasts?
He's a mockingbird.
Not a mockingbird. Cease and desist immediately. Besides, it is time for our first story. Well, cease and desist immediately. Besides, it is time for our first story. I'm sorry, I can't help it. This is exceedingly ridiculous. Well, he says he feels great, and he's never been happier.
Where's Tex Avery at? This is not Tex Avery like.
Oh, all right, you're going to catch it now. Here comes Linus. And he said, no one who feels great and is happy cries. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm not the only one who's crying and doesn't know why.
Oh, all the crocodiles is crying.
Well, it's absurd, but I suppose there's no harm in it, just crocodile tears. Well, I can see harm in it. All those crocodile tears are making the water level in the river rise. Well, we could have a flood. Then I suggest that you fly up and take a look at how the dam is holding up. Too much water could burst it. Holy smokes! I better warn everybody. Hey, everybody! The dam just broke. Hey, there's a flood coming. The dam just burst. Hey, you guys, quick! If you can't fly like me, climb a tree or run up to somewhere high. The crocodiles cried too much and the dam broke. We're having a flood.
Bear. How many critters in this show aren't native to this jungle?
And they climb up on a giraffe.
Unless stroke.
Beavers. Uh-oh. How's a kangaroo in the jungle?
It's terrible down there. I've been warning everybody to get somewhere high, where it's safe, like where you are. Well, if it's terrible, then I owe it to my subjects to disregard personal safety and go down there and get to the bottom of this. No, don't, Linus. It's too dangerous.
And now he's going to walk on a hippo, an elephant, and a turtle.
Oh, this is terrible. I'm sorry, Linus.
Hay fever, that's pollen.
Well, there must be a reason for this. Now I'm crying myself. Me too. What is this?
Stop using logic.
Here's a clue. We are in the middle of an onion patch.
Wait, an onion patch in the jungle. Okay.
There's some crazy bird chopping up
Rouse, what are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? Crocodile called me a crybaby, so I'm getting even by cutting up raw onions and making him cry. Well, cease. Rouse, your joke was unfunny and it caused discomfiture among my subjects. Really? So what? Don, you grouse, look, Linus, he's starting to cut up another raw onion. It's so hot. Water with pleasure.
That wasn't funny. They dunk him feet first, not head first.
Well, they didn't want to give him any relief.
Yep.
Like that commercial? like that commercial. Then I suggest that you get a close for the upcoming bit of cartoon wizardry aimed specifically at pleasing you and each and every one of your friends. Then I forgot. That's not fair.
There he is, Sugar Bear. Yep.
And his banjo.
But I'm not the type to care, 'cause I've got a big fat pocket full of dreams. Now it's my little universe, even with an empty purse.
Oh, yes.
Leslie Bear.
Full of hallucinations.
Oh, I was so hoping he'd notice me, but he never does. Well, then don't just stand there moaning. Do something. Invite him to dinner. Then have your little place all filled with flowers. Flowers look romantic and smell romantic. Do it. I'll start picking the flowers right now. Come on
Oh,
now.
no.
That's it, my dear. A little closer. Good. Very good. See, I'm so nice. I'm making the flowers grow.
Oh, no.
One or two more, my dear. That's it. Now, rain.
A shower. I'd better find shelter until it's over. Oh, good. Here's a place. There's a nice dry room in here.
Have you never seen a horror film?
Going up. What is this? I'm afraid.
Just because an elevator is drawing you into an old friend's tower.
Mervyn the magician.
Yes, my dear.
Help! Sugar Bear! Help! Baby Sugar Bear!
Baby, listen out. Somebody's tossing out my name. Mervyn's above. I better move.
Right up there with help, Cecil, help.
Mhm.
No, bucket.
Help me, Mr. Wizard. Help.
Help.
Help me, Mr. Wizard. Twizzle, twazzle, twazzle, tall. Time to bring this one home.
No, time for this one to come
Come
home.
on. Yep. For those who don't know, Tudor Turtle.
From Tennessee Tuxedo and Friends.
Yep.
Help! The elevator's falling!
Yes, and that's not all that's falling around here.
Oh, no, Sugar Bear.
Hey, looks like old Mer's playing for keeps.
Oh, Sugar.
How is he being so cool with all of this at this point?
Get out of here.
He's like this weird cross between Sammy Davis Jr. and Bing Crosby.
The stairs are moving like an escalator.
Yes, an up escalator. Just like in the department store. Only
Yeah, but you can get down and up escalator. I've done it.
He's got a buzzsaw up there, and he's drawing us to it.
Sweet
Boy,
William,
these
down there and show them.
cartoon characters are exceptionally homicidal in my childhood.
The vulture coming after him now.
Yeah,
And the thing,
Run
this is supposed to sell us.
sugar, cereal.
Yes.
Yeah, they're supposed to sell us cereal on a Saturday morning.
I'm no millionaire, but I'm not the type to care. 'Cause I've got a pocket full of dreams. In case you're wondering about Mervyn and Sweet William, they're napping. Maybe after a good rest, they won't be so cranky when they wake up. I've got a pocket full.
You got a pocket full of
I've got a pocket full of.
me.
I was the big fat dreams. All right, now, without any further ado, let's get right into the next story. All right, now, without any further ado, let's get into the next story. Oh! 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 Ah!
Oh, that's right, the male guy. Lovable
Yes.
Julie. truly the mailman.
What a pleasant fugitive.
Cease and desist. Resistance is futile, my fuzzy fugitive.
Just push.
Oh, pardon me. I thought you were a dog. Richard Nearly, silent movie star, extends you an apology. Dear dog catcher, your apology is accepted. Perchance you've seen Lawrence, a ferocious mongrel about this big. You mean about this small? And Lawrence isn't ferocious. If you weren't so stupid, you'd know that any dog is ferocious. That's it. A dog is man's best friend. Lawrence, you must be male. You gotta stay.
Where'd he get the stamp? That's
I don't know. He didn't have
Where
a
did he get this? He didn't have the stamp before he got in there. Oh no.
Hand over that unlicensed canine. Neither rat, nor slate, nor snuff, nor glue, nor dog catcher can prevent the mail from going through. And Lawrence is mail. He's got a stamp on it. He's government property. You can't have it.
Oh look, they kissed.
I am Richard Harry Nearly, silent movie star and part-time dog catcher. Have you
Oh,
seen
he's a
long
part-time
white
dog
who's not
catcher.
wearing
Yes. Just in case the silent movies come back. Oh my goodness, the old window washers.
Yes.
This is
Smart
one
dog.
Oh my goodness, he's getting high off the pipe.
He burnt the rope. That's a smart dog.
Hey!
Maybe not go by that rose bush no more.
You'll be safe here, Lawrence. I gotta go sort the mail. Now I've got you.
Oh no.
All I could hear all of a sudden was Ducky go down the hole.
Oh no. Wow. Dead Larry. Dead Larry. She's not going anywhere.
Okay. Oh, bye, comic.
If you want to lick something, I'll get you some stamps.
Had to leave.
Very well. It's time for a message from. It's time for a message from our sponsor, right? See, I know it is. Let us move along now.
Okay, Tat. Have a good one.
Hey, King-Yo. Don't get mad at the little fella. He's got talent. He's funny. Mocking and imitating me is not funny. Mocking and imitating me, they don't. Oh, don't titch. I'm really surprised. One of the most noble, kingiest things a fella can do.
That Bronx thug accent.
Oh, hey,
That is true. I don't know.
Greetings, children friends. Today we have story of
The cat who looked at a queen.
This is their take on fractured fairy tales.
Yeah.
He's taking cat nap. But suddenly cat wake up. He got overpowering urge to look at a queen.
Oh, it's you so high. Say, you know where I can find
Uh-oh.
to look at?
In palace, of course.
Why you say of course? I only cat. I never see no palace. How about you show me way, huh? It come over me suddenly like that. This overpowering urge to look on a queen. So I said to myself, okay, then I go find queen and look on her. I always do exactly what I want. It make for nice life, you know. Get recognized.
Queen? No, he only a god.
Only a god. That insult me.
What's going on down there with so much loudness?
Oh, queen.
Queen? Queen?
Recognize.
Whew, that's some skills.
Get recognized. I got overpowering urge to look on a queen. Get recognized. Queen! I had overpowering look at you.
Oh no.
I guess Queen not got overpowering urge to look at cat.
And I not got overpowering urge to look at dungeon. Maybe I think of idea. That it? Mouse.
Where?
No. I pretend to see mouse. Then you pretend to catch mouse. Then Queen exchange mousing for looking.
Stars! Hold! Shrimp want word. It's Queenie.
Make snappy. What I want is mouse.
Mouse.
Mouse. Pretend mouse. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Whew, some relief. Where that mouse? I knock his block off.
You set us free if cat catch mouse?
Oh, I couldn't give that mouse what for. And while I'm mousing, okay, if I look on you just a little bit.
Okay. But remember, just a little.
Hey, you even better looking than I thought.
Let's look for mousing.
Hey, you know, I'm going cuckoo about you a little bit, you know?
Get mousing.
Oh.
No, not while she's sleeping. No.
You could at least pretend mousing. I see plenty looking, but no mousing.
You cute when you mad. Hey, I already catch mouse.
You already catch pretend mouse?
Real mouse. I really do. Real mouse.
Finish mousing. Mean finish looking. Mouse.
Wait, I tell mouse. About this job I got. Looking on Queen. So mouse say he likes to look on you too.
Oh no.
Not much of a look.
Holy crap.
Good story, honorable children friends. Better to be looked over than overlooked.
Overlooked.
Now I got overpowering urge to look on the king.
This was a good attempt to be fractured fairy tales.
Yes, it was. That's why, as I see these now, I wonder how sober these guys were, or more importantly, weren't when they were working out these ideas.
Titch. The host of our show is forgetting his duties to speak to you and keep this show moving. While he's carrying on, so let me, your new host, introduce the next commercial.
This, you fetid rascal. Take this, you fetid rascal. No, please, I beg of you, no, please.
King in every respect except he has no sense of humor.
In every respect except he has no sense of humor.
Watch it, wise guy, I'll poke you right in your bill. Watch it, wise guy, I'll poke you right in your bill. Why you?
You know, I think there's an educational point here. However, I will let you decide for yourself. See you next week, huh? See you next week, huh?
Now that's funny.
Hey, look, come on, please. Lionhearted friendships don't end. We'll all be back and then Linus and his friends will go. On with the show.
Oh yes, they would mop up the spotlight.
And that was Linus the Lionheart.
Oh my goodness, I have not seen that in decades.
And like I said, I was like, if it wasn't for me being up late night, and now since they have what is called Me Tunes, I'm getting to see all of these cartoons that I haven't seen like in decades, whether it be for me first time in reruns or just like out of the blue, like Sugar Bear. It's like I haven't seen it. It's like really. It's like I could have sworn Sugar Bear was nothing more than nothing more than like a cereal mascot. But back then they were sponsored by Post Cereal back then, but it was an actual cartoon. Saturday morning cartoons was like, yeah, this 30-minute block of cartoons is Post Cereal advertisement all the way through.
And the commercial breaks were primarily something that had to do with Post. Occasionally they would have like one or two from really quick things from a local station or whatever the big syndicated station they were on. You know, like if it's ABC or something, they may have like, this week on Wild World of Sports. But yeah, it was basically Post owned that half hour.
And it's like, oh, here's time for another commercial. It's like, oh yeah, my subjects. Here is Crazy Critter cereal. Make sure you get your healthy bowl of Crazy Critter cereal. Like, and then with Sugar Bear was
Sugar Crisp.
Sugar Crisp, yes.
And
then they went from sugar to Golden Crisp because it went from sugar to honey.
Yes. And then I forgot what cereal the Postman, because they all had a cereal they were doing. And I keep forgetting what cereal the Postman had. Because they were the main, what was it? Sugar Bear, the Postman, and the Lion were the main three. And they were...
Was it the Postman alphabets?
Yes, that's it. And then when they retired him, they started having the kids do this alphabets, because alphabets were big. That was the hit. Alphabets
Honeycomb.
big.
Honeycomb.
Honeycomb? Okay.
Honeycomb's big. Yeah. It's not small.
No. Sorry. But yeah, so they had something where, because there was a point in which they decided they didn't want to do the cartoon characters anymore, and they just started using kids for their commercials.
I remember the Alphabets Jackson 5 commercial.
And was it what was it?
Now Sugar Bear lasted, I want to say, into maybe the mid 80s to beginning of the 90s, because
they started around. He was really, of all those, he was the last one that they got rid of, because they, I think by the 70s, the Lion and the Mailman, Sugar Bear and the Mailman went a little forward. Then they decided to dump the Mailman. Sugar Bear outlasted, because I think it was a character they could update easier. Especially Sugar Bear's level of cool. So they were able to update him a little easier. But after a while, I think, they just decided it was a little too much money to do the whole animated bear and have to write all those scripts and stuff. So they stopped using Sugar Bear in the commercials, which was a little sad. I thought Sugar Bear, when you're a
Actually,
kid.
Sugar Bear outlasted Dig'em. That's what it is, because Sugar Bear
Yes.
was in direct competition with Dig'em.
Yeah. And he outlasted Dig'em.
Right.
Because basically all Dig'em was like a one-trick pony. It's all he had going for.
I mean, because again, it's like it was Sugar Crisp versus Sugar Smacks, and then it was Honey Smacks versus Golden Crisp.
Yes. I'm trying to think what was Honeycombs.
Honeycomb was Post, but it again, I don't remember what Honeycomb what
I don't think they
cartoon.
had. I think of it, who got the B for a while.
That was Cheerios.
Cheerios had the B.
But Cheerios had another mascot before that. The little bitty kid with the arm that became like a big O to show the cereal.
Yeah.
It's like it's fortified with power. It showed the big.
This is it what can I say? It was an interesting time to be a child in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah,
and our parents, before parents started paying attention to what we were watching on TV.
Right.
Parents would kind of like, Saturday morning, if depending on your family structure, mom was busy. Mom would be trying just to, she was either trying to run her errands or just tried to get a little extra time sleeping in. And, dad might be like mowing the lawn or something. And kids would be, so long as, it was like Saturday morning cartoons were a babysitter.
For the most part.
Until
kids start going around talking about yama yama. We like the fruit taste. We like the fruit taste of Fruit Island cereal.
When parents started realizing what it was we were consuming, they were like, that, and because
my name Ice Cream Joe. I'm bringing you my ice cream cone, a brand new cereal for breakfast. And they don't realize how much sugar was actually in Ice Cream Cone's sugar. That was a pure sugar cereal. There was nothing nutrition about Ice Cream Cone cereal.
Oh, the way I ate, my uncles and I ate Cheerios, there wasn't very healthy in it, because you would put your Cheerios in there, and then you would put like this much sugar. So that even after you got through the Cheerios, there would be like that milky sugar syrup.
See, that's the thing. It's like you have regular Cheerios, and then you had the honey nut
Cheerios, and that's when they.
And then they finally came out with the one cereal that I had to stop eating because I was eating it like it was crack, and that was Frosted Cheerios.
Oh. I've got.
I had a cup. I had a bowl of that. And I was buying that thing by the box full, and I was like, "Nope, I gotta stop eating this because the Frosted is too much sugar."
I still love Frosted Flakes, except for under $5, I can get a nice big box of Frosted Flakes, the generic Frosted Flakes.
Right.
Frosted Flakes. For over $6. I mean, $6. I went because I forgot to grab myself a box of Frosted Flakes at Aldi.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, we went to local market, and it's like, you know what? I didn't get myself some Frosted Flakes. John decided he had more than enough, because that boy knows how to squirrel away food. He actually had quite enough fruit and yogurt Special K, so he didn't need a box this month. So it's like, great, I'm gonna get me some Frosted Flakes. Give me a second. I gotta show you what $6, almost closer to $7 get you in regards to a box of Frosted Flakes.
Okay, well, can I tell a quick joke real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Everybody knows about Tony Tiger and Frosted Flakes and everything. So, the last time running, I went grocery shopping, and we go into the cereal aisle. It's like, oh, it's like you want Frosted Flakes. It's like, yeah, it's like we could get the actual one, or he could get, the non-name brand. It's like, oh, you got to get the, the real one. It's like, why? It's like, it's like they just like, look, this is more economical. It's like the difference between they're great and they're okay.
Hold on. Be right back. This is $7 worth of cereal.
Yes, that's inflation for you.
The box I had at Aldi was two and a half times as thick and 50% higher.
But they're okay. But that's the thing. The difference between they're okay and they're great.
But you know what? Add some milk, chop up a banana. I'm a happy idiot. I don't think me and Tony are going to be hanging out as much after this.
No. Again, you have to blame Kellogg's, because if I remember correctly, Kellogg's probably did change the way that they make Frosted Flakes, and all these other off brands are using the old method.
Well,
and the reason I say it that way, because if you notice, the sugar content for Frosted Flakes went way down.
And I got no problem with that. But if the sugar content has gone way down,
you should be getting way more cereal.
Yes. For the money, $7, and this is it. And I didn't complain as much for Special K, because Special K has always been the more expensive of their cereal. Special K was always cost a little bit more, because for some reason it was Special
So does
K.
Mueslix, but nobody buys Mueslix.
Nobody buys muesli. But I just, so I don't begrudge John his Special K. He likes his Special K fruit and yogurt. It's a healthier cereal. It's something he'll eat, because John may be 6 foot tall, but he is definitely on a Hobbit diet. So, and for those of you who don't know, that means breakfast, that means second breakfast, that means 11sies, that means luncheon, that means tea, that means supper, maybe dinner, and then dessert. Okay. That's a Hobbit diet. And that boy is serious about his Hobbit diet. So yeah, he gets up, he has a go-gurt first thing in the morning. Then 20 minutes later, he'll either have a bowl of cereal, or he'll have he likes those breakfast bars. So he'll have a breakfast bar. 30 minutes or so later, if he has the breakfast bar, then he's going to have the cereal after that. Give him another hour and a half. It's time for lunch. So so by the time he has lunch, he's had breakfast, second breakfast, and his 11C.
It's almost like he having literally one meal, but each meal is like one part of a bigger course.
Well, hobbits, you can say that about hobbit eating. In certain among certain hobbits, every course is not always huge.
You get up, you drink the orange juice. 20 minutes later, you eat maybe a slice of toast. Then an hour later, you eat bacon and eggs. Then an hour later, you make some type of sandwich.
Well, see, that's just it. If I get up, like if he'll get up, he'll have his go-gurt. Then he'll decide if he wants a bowl of cereal or he wants a cereal bar. Now, if I get up and say, hey, you know what? I'm in the mood. Why don't I make pancakes, eggs, sausage, and hash browns for everybody, which I do on occasion. Oh, you best believe he's going to get some of that. And after he's had that, 20 minutes later, it's on to the next meal.
So there's no such thing as a big meal that takes a part of all of the smaller ones. It's like, oh, got to have my schedule.
It's like, and in keeping, it's like, well, how, he'll like, I want 2 pancakes, and he'll have 2 pancakes and 2 sausage. He'll have an egg and a hash brown. Whereas other people are like having like 3. Charles will have 3 eggs, 2 pancakes, 2 hash browns, 4 sausages.
Mhm.
Like, I have gotten to where I have to start writing it down, because it's kind of hard to always remember who has how many, who wants how many of this, and of course it's egg sunny side up.
So
It's not,
fried egg,
huh?
more or less a fried egg, more
Yeah,
or less a fried egg, as
as
opposed
opposed
to
to
like
scramble.
scrambled
That's
or boiled or poached.
Oh, they don't want boiled eggs unless I'm making tuna salad. you know, if I'm making, like a pasta or a tuna salad, yeah, go ahead, mama, boil them eggs. But if it's like, oh, it's breakfast time, I want my eggs sunny side up, please. Don't break that yolk. So yeah, we call it mom's apothecary. I go into what we call mom's apothecary diner mode. So I take everybody's order and I start getting them all done. You know, I make it special and thank everybody for coming to eat at Mom's Apothecary Diner, where we ask all our patrons to just come and sit for a spell.
You just need that little bell there and be like,
Dingle,
two,
dingle, dingle.
two flaps of 2 sunnies. Pick it up.
Except I need to have another me. It doesn't work if it's just me, because I have to cook it, then I have to plate it, and take everybody their particular plates. Though when we watched Bridgerton, we had fun because we had tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches.
See, that's old school lunch for us older people.
Yes,
That was a good winter lunch back in the day.
tomato soup and let's get tomato soup and a nice grilled cheese sandwich. Except now I love it because I go and we get a variety. And it used to be it was yellow cheese and it was Kraft.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's
Unless you got the good old school government block, and you
that was still yellow.
You chop that thing nice and thick, and you make your grilled cheese that way.
Oh, and that I will say that government cheese melted like no other. I mean, you put that I don't care how thick you melted it, you cut it, the baby still melt just.
I will get if I could say prove the myth of government cheese. For those who think that government cheese was low grade cheese, think again.
No.
It was actually Kraft cheese that was overproduced, but they did it in such a way for the United States government that they did it in such a way where it would have a longer shelf life. So it was considered food that they would have on reserve for United States citizens if they needed extra food.
Government
so they would do that for cheese. I want to say cheese, flour, and I forgot the other commodity that they used to do it. But
in
those
fact,
who were public existed, they got that big old block of Kraft cheese that was specially made for the government that had a shelf life. I think of I forgot how long the shelf life was for it, but it lasted a long time.
And for those who don't know, this is what the WIC program came out of. Mm-hmm. And the reason SNAP and WIC are their subsidy programs. The fact that people get fed by those programs is secondary. They are farm subsidy programs. Mm-hmm. WIC is for dairy farmers, chicken, because you get milk products and eggs. You're supporting chicken farmers and dairy farmers.
That's how the government support their surplus.
That's why when you hear about those programs running into trouble and where the money is coming, that's why it's coming from the US Department of Agriculture, because these are farm subsidies. Which is why whenever I hear some states say, "Oh, we're gonna make it so they can't buy nothing with they can't buy no junk food and nothing," it's like, hello, do you know what one of the prime ingredients in those things that they're telling people, the sodas and chips that they can't buy? High fructose corn syrup. You know why that's a joke? Because who do you think gets those USDA subsidies? Corn farmers. That's how high fructose corn syrup got into
Mhm.
everything, because the government was subsidizing the farmers who grow corn and soybeans, and they had to figure out what to do with them. And so they ended up in a lot of food we eat, because otherwise we'd be drowning in corn.
See, that's one of the reasons why, if you ever want to get into the whole subsidies and where the majority of the food that a lot of these farmers and stuff grow now go to, have them to watch the documentary Knives Over Forks. Forks Over
Or
Knives.
knives.
And
But
it explains the whole thing why Monsanto is not a good thing, and the fact that the majority of the crops that are grown in the United States for the government and for people, only 1/3 of it comes to us as far as being available for consumers.
yeah,
2/3 of it goes to either cattle, animals, and everything that they produce for meat. And we're up here talking about, well, what it's like, what do you mean? It's like, think about it. All the crop that's being done, and there's still surplus that's still left over. People are not the ones that are getting greedy and overindulging in it.
yeah.
It is being really used for all the livestock that they keep for meat and everything. They are the ones that are eating all the extra corn, soybean, rice, and everything that we grow here.
We don't grow that much rice here.
Right, right. But we do grow some.
Yeah, there are some varieties of rice that we grow here, but there's a reason you pay a little more for, say, basmati rice,
Hmm.
because that comes from India. And I actually prefer basmati rice because when it cooks, it's a lovely long grain rice and it cooks beautifully, which is why I buy it. And if you want to know, well, how come it costs $11 if I buy it at Jewel? Don't
Because
buy it
it's
at
that
Jewel.
important. No, because it's important. It's important. No
Well,
matter where you go, it's going to be more. It's going
it's
to be
going to
more
be
regardless.
important. But if you go to Trader Joe's or Aldi, you're going to get basmati rice at a better price. Believe me, because I only buy my basmati rice from Trader Joe's or Aldi's. And I usually buy it at Aldi's. They're sister stores, by the way. Same family. One part of the family runs Trader Joe's, the other runs Aldi. That's why you can find some things at Aldi that you can't find in other stores, because it's a German family running them, and they bring in stuff over here that we otherwise wouldn't get. But they've got a deal on basmati rice, which is why their nice big old bag of basmati rice is like $4. And I for the $12 for a little bitty thing of basmati rice at Jewel, I get like 3 or 4 of them them nice packets, and I can fill up my container of basmati rice, and that will last me a while. Because yes, I do make regular rice. I likes my rice-a-roni, but I like sometimes making basmati rice. And that it reminds me, next week I'm gonna make some pork chops. Got panko crumbs. I'm gonna make crunch. Courtney sitting up there going, wee.
No, it's like what you say. You got panko crumbs. I was like, why is she using a fish breading on pork chops? Interesting.
I get these very thin sliced pork chops. They're boneless.
Mhm.
They're like center cut, and I do the flour and the seasonings, and I drizzle them in a little egg yolk, flour, seasonings, and then I dip them in, and I put panko crumbs in there, and I cook them up, and they're thin, so they cook up pretty quickly. Nice, crunchy. They give you that lovely crunchy. But you crunch through it, and then you got that lovely bit of well done pork chop. It's delicious. You have to come over sometime for dinner.
No, because now you're making me think about how I grew up, and it was breaded pork chops with gravy.
I actually had been thinking about making the flour that I'm using is not a wheat flour, and I'm not sure if I can make a good gravy with it because
Oh.
the way I was taught to make gravy, um, you would after you seasoned up your meat, you would have flour left and it was all seasoned with your meat already. So you would use, and you would have the frond in the pot. You would add that to the frond that's already in your pot. The frond is the dark brown stuff that's left in the pot after you didn't,
Mhm.
cooked your meat. But you would add that in the water or wine or whatever you're going to do to mix it
Mhm.
and make a nice smooth
To
gravy
make
with.
to thicken it up to make it a gravy.
But because this is not the flour that I have right now is not a wheat flour. I keep forgetting what it is. I don't know how if it'll make a decent gravy, and I don't want to waste time putting some together that's not going to come out right.
Mhm.
I'm weird that way about cooking, so I'm not going to make gravy. But this time when I do it, because I've got corn ribs. Aldi had corn ribs a couple of months ago, so we stocked up on them puppies. Usually you get them at Trader Joe's.
Mhm.
The ones they sell at all these, they're either hot, really hot spice. They have the hot, spicy ones, or they have the ones that don't have the seasoning on them. We get the ones that don't have the seasoning because I have spike and butter. So, you know, add a little Irish butter and some spike. Them puppies just cook up really nice. So I've got corn ribs. I got a pack
See,
of
I need to move
asparagus left.
back to by myself where I could get back to cooking again.
You
I miss making my fried rice and stuff to that magnitude.
all these, I mean, not all these, but Trader Joe's. We had a little extra money thanks to Christmas presents, and my mama went to the boat and she won a little money too. She gave us some. So we went to Aldi's and they do the orange chicken.
Hmm.
So we got a couple of packets of orange chicken and then their chicken fried rice. Aldi's has some great fried rice. It's just heating.
No, I'm talking about make the rice. That was like I used to buy like the packets of seasoning. I used to do the whole
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Make the rice, make the steak, make the chicken, cut the steak up, crack the egg. Do all of it. Make
I
it from
will
scratch.
send my. I will,
It's just about from scratch only because I don't want to deal with the seasonings itself. But now since I've been watching so much YouTube, I was like, you know what, I might as well make it from scratch. It's not that hard to get the other seasonings from the store.
I will add extra seasoning to the orange chicken because um they give you a packet to of the stuff the sauce,
Hmm.
but over the years the sauce has gotten very vinegary. And so in order to make it taste good, it's like I've gotten a few secret ingredients that I add to it to give it
Hmm.
that flavor. And then when I cook the fried rice, I've got like soy sauce and stuff that I've got a little rice wine and soy sauce and stuff that I can add to it to give it just that right flavor. Um, so it's not to just heat and serve. You add a few things to it and it just it gives it that extra
No,
stuff.
I used to take white rice, cook that up, cook it up, let it sit. And this is the thing. Back when I would have my own place, I didn't have the one thing that I always used to mess up is that
Rice cooker.
I never had a rice cooker, but that's neither here nor there. Put
Yeah,
it in a
rice
regular.
is not that hard to cook. You have to
No. I thought about the skillet. I didn't have like the.
Oh, a wok.
I didn't have a wok. But you don't necessarily need a wok. If you have a wok, that's good. But if you don't have one, I'm trying to think. I need a.
I got cast iron skillet.
That's what I'm thinking. You need a cast iron skillet. because the cast iron skillet can hold that type of heat that you need to make it.
You know,
But if you don't, it takes a lot longer to make off of a regular skillet.
that is true. Unless you have to heat it pretty high,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
No,
But
woks have to be heated high anyway.
you also have to remember to keep it covered. So
Mm-hmm.
you're locking that you're locking both heat and moisture in, because I've known people who do it and then they can't figure out where their rice is hard. You know, I cooked it, but it's hard as a rock. It's like because you cooked it with the top off.
One, you cooked it with wet rice. You're supposed to let it sit at least for a day. Preferably day old rice is better
Yes.
for fried rice than anything else.
And two, you didn't put a top on, so as the steam was coming, it just left your rice and made your
It
rice
didn't dry out the
dry.
rice. Didn't dry out the rice just enough where it could be flaky, or at least individual pieces. It was
Yeah.
clump. You made it like you was making red beans and rice instead of instead of fried rice.
You know, I have not made that in ages, red beans and rice. Now you got me thinking. I got basmati. I actually have a couple of cans of red beans in there. Courtney,
What?
red beans and rice?
I don't like the beans.
Oh yeah, she don't like beans. Yeah, and she doesn't like beans. Charles doesn't like cornbread. Because we grew up where that was dinner: red beans, rice, and cornbread. That
That
was
was
like,
one, but the classic was collard greens. Well,
oh,
actually, mustard, turnip, and spinach, and cornbread.
see, my family didn't do. At least my father's family, they did collards, mustard, and turnip.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do spinach because spinach was too highfalutin. And
Spinach was healthier though, but again, that's a whole different thing about the health push with spinach and all this other stuff.
well, also because in certain neighborhoods, spinach was also more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It costs more for spinach, so a lot of people would just use, they would just use
Collard, mustard, turnip.
collard, mustard, and turnips, because that gave you, and every once in a while you would get somebody who didn't understand that those three were better together than apart, and so somebody would get up and cook a whole pot of mustard greens, and it's like, do you know why you add turnips and collards to this? Because
It balanced it out.
yes,
It's like if I remember, mustard, turnip, and spinach, you had bitter, sweet, and savory all
whereas
mixed together.
collards, mustard, and turnips,
Collard replaced spinach as far as being
yes,
savory, but turnip was always bitter, and
no,
mustard was always sweet.
mustard is bitter, turnips are sweet,
Okay.
and it's the turnips that kind of help balance out those other two, because if you don't put the turnips in there, you got this clash of flavors that just is like, oh, I don't, and of course having a nice little chunk of salt pork didn't hurt none either.
Right.
And as a child, you never got to get the salt. You never got that salt pork. that was grown folks.
Yep. So we are at the 2-hour mark now. So it's
Oh
up to you.
yes,
Do you want to keep going, or you want to call it a night? Because you
I
got
need
your
to call
box
it.
of they're great to eat.
No, I'm not gonna have frosted flakes tonight, but I am gonna eat something, and I've got to get up and go do laundry tomorrow, no matter what. So I've got to. I have not eaten dinner, so I need to eat something. Before I forget, in Elaine's Art Corner, if you are looking for supplies, they now have fountain pens at Five Below. They sell them in a pack of about 8 pens. I think it's like it's 3 or 5 something for 8. Next time I get a chance, I will get some and I will review them. So people, but if you got someone who's looking to learn penmanship or calligraphy, Five Below can hit you up. They've now got fountain pens.
Cool.
So, you know, as opposed to having to go to a specialty store or
and
Blink's.
pay up that markup of at least $20 per pen.
Oh, sweetie, 20. What pens are you using?
Well, you have to understand. It's like a good fountain pen by a brand name is somewhere about $50 a pop. If you go,
Double that.
no, I'm about to say if you go to a specialty shop,
They're
triple.
100 and yeah, I was about to say they're the really fancy ones, especially if you get the ones from France or Japan, are going for
That's
about
quadruple or triple to quadruple.
they're going between 1 and 250. You know. Yeah, sorry, artist. We're weird about, stuff like that. You gotta love us. You gotta love us. That's just all it is. You have to love us. Anyway, I gotta go.
It's like you love our work, but you hate us. And it's like that's sometimes that's the life of the artist. Like, oh, I really like that. I really like this art piece. I did it. I hate you. Like, but you love. Okay.
I think you've heard me rant about that. I won't go into it now. So yeah, let me sign out. Thank you for being with us. This was fun. Yeah, I know a couple of old folks farts just going off on old fart stuff. It happens. Next week Cliff will be with us and we'll talk more about comic books. I swear, because Cliff will help us stay on track.
Well, that's because I don't get new books as fast as Cliff does. It's like I get them after I pay like one major shipment. So it's like I would get like maybe like anywhere between 3 to 6 months of books in one fell swoop.
Ah, okay. And
so all my newer stuff would be like, it's like the most recent stuff would be like, if I say it's like, okay, I made my final payment for that month, it would be everything up to that point for that month.
Hey.
So let's say if I paid everything off, like in 2 weeks, I would have everything up to that February.
The only thing I got recently is I found that Amazon let me have the Silmarillion on audiobooks is narrated by Andy Serkis. And because I have an Audible account, they gave it to me for free. Because I have 1 credit. I get 1 credit a month. And they were like, what do you want? It's like, you've got Andy Serkis reading the Silmarillion. Give me that. I know some train rides that'll be good. When I got to go out to see my mother and get off the Cumberland stop on the blue
that
line.
Long ride.
That's what Audible books come in handy. Anyway, thank you for being here. I'm Elaine Haygood. lenscaponline.com. Elaine.haygood at Facebook. Come by, see us. If you go to my website, go down where it says, drop us a line. Drop me a line. It goes straight into my email. I'm the only one who gets it. I don't do any AI answering emails. I answer all my emails unless I think you're a creep, and then I just don't notice you, okay? But come by, see what I'm doing. I'm actually putting out a video next weekend on some stuff that I'm doing, so to catch people up on where we are. We're also, Joe and I are going to be at C2E2. So if you're coming to C2E2 here in Chicago, March 27th through the 29th at McCormick Place, come look for us. Joe will be the one trying to keep me from murdering all the people who get on my nerves or trying to kiss starlets and stuff like that. Okay?
No, she's going to be the one. She's going to be the one. Like how you have all those stranger danger commercials and everything. She's going to be the one who's like, "Hey kid, you want to pose for some candy?"
Yeah, I'm the post for Candy Lady. For Candy Lady. But anyway, it's late. Mama's tired. I need some sleep. Y'all take care of yourself. Behave. Bye.
And it's time for me to say that this episode of Comic Book Spectrum is brought to you by Plasma Fire Graphics. If you need a brand new cover for your novel, novella, graphic novel, comic book, hit up Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics. Why? Because you want an award-winning artist that knows his stuff to have a work of art from him to make people come to your table and ask you about your comic, your novel, whatever. If you don't believe me, take a look at some of the stuff that he did.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
See all the artwork there? That type of level of craftsmanship can be yours. Just hit up Jeffrey Hayes at plasmafiregraphics.com or his Facebook group for Plasma Fire Graphics. As far as I'm concerned, I'll be back here Saturday for another episode of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. What we'll be talking about, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm currently working on some more stuff for Legends of the Giant Slayer here. More stories as far as that is concerned. I've still been sketching in the sketchbook here. We're going to possibly have me starting working with some pages here, since we're almost at the point where we're almost completely done with just about all the taxes. The sales tax has already been filed. Need to do the corporate taxes and the personal taxes starting next week, which means that I will have more time to work on actual comic book projects here. But the overall topic is to be announced. So you never know. I might go back to ranting, or we might have something positive to say. So you never know. So I hope to see you Saturday. If not, meet us back here next Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, for another episode of Comic Book Spectrum. Unlike our founder, Brian K. Morris, I don't care if you wash your hands, but never, and I do mean never, apologize for being awesome. Catch you next week. Adios. Live life, grow, and be well. And we are out. Bye.